Howdy and welcome to Grand Prairie, Texas. This is Grant Cole with This is Texas Rugby, live from the TRU YouTube channel. And this is Grand Prairie versus Shreveport. It's men's D3 Rugby in Texas. Grand Prairie comes into this game that both teams, this is the start of their season. Grand Prairie's starting roster features the front row of Brogan Halloran, Chris Foote, and Steven Spear. Locks are Taylor Pearson and Ryan Peliquin. Back row is James Greer, Kyron Torrance, and John Woodle. Clifford Robertson and Anthony St. Amant are at the hinge, 9 and 10. Jared Lynn and Drew Wasikowski are in the midfield. Daniel O'Connell and Adam Aiden Kuseski are at the wing, and Olusei Thomas is out in fullback position. For Shreveport, Abe Kamihewa is at loosehead. Matt Daly and James Millay are at the rest of the front row. Trey Cox and Fleming Thompson in the engine room. Stephen Mabry and Brandon Brownmiller and Evan Johnston are at the back row. Johnston, usually playing in the midfield, is now slotted in at the back row. Cedric Keith is at 9. Chad Mooney at 10. Brad Mooney at 12. Logan Farah at 13. Keelan Bennett at 11. Devin Lott at 14. And Jesse Rankin at 15. And, you know, I got to say, I'm impressed that Scott Krippner, Old Maroon Scott Krippner, has showed up today to play on the front row if he's needed, and he is dressed out and here, and I'm just impressed that he's actually here and ready to play. So yeah, Scott Krippner, Old Maroon, former Aggie, played at Texas A&M, played his rugby there, and when I saw him, I almost fell out of my chair. So yeah. Kane O'Neill's here as well for Shreveport. Shreveport, they've got a neat little saying for their team. We got what we got, and that's how they play. So starting to kick off here, Donnie Hinup, the South African, is in the middle, kicking off, and he's got control of the match today. And so for St. Amant is going to be kicking off and restarting for Grand Prairie today. And here we go for the start of the match. St. Amant's got a high one. He's kicked to Brownmiller, but it goes through his hands, and that's right into Molay's hands. Big man Molay comes forward a couple of meters. And that has it out. And that goes right out to Brownmiller. Brownmiller likes to be right in the action. And Mooney looking for something to do. And slow ball coming out of there. Hinup asking for a ball. It's at the back. And now, that looks like Thompson trying to drive forward. Molay out to Johnston. Johnston looking for Bennett. Bennett's tackled up. Now Cedric Keith looking for one of his backs, but he finds a forward. And Kamihewa coughs it up, and now the Mavericks have it. That's James Greer with the first one, and he's coughed it up. Knock-on advantage is own, and Evan Johnston's making the most of it. Cedric Keith now out to James Molay. Molay takes it in the breakdown. Now Thompson. That's Cox with the ball. Mooney slides it out. Tries to find his brother. Logan Farah. And that ball has just drifted forward out of Farah's hands. Logan Farah got a little speed to him out there. The shaved head, man, he keeps that head shaved so he can get a little bit more speed. He says, hey, when I take a little bit of that weight off, you know, it gives me that little bit of edge, and that's what I need. And so Logan Farr with the shaved head out there at 13, and then Brad Mooney at 12 is Chad Mooney's brother, and they're the big men in the midfield. Going forward. That's some big stuff in the midfield, looking for Jared Lynn. Now Jared Lynn going forward. Jared Lynn stepping back to the inside. And the Mavericks attacking on Shreveport, inside Shreveport territory, and looking for try time and finding it in goal. That's try time. Grand Prairie Mavericks, they start the day with 5 points on their home field. Jared Lynn's kick is up, and it's good, bringing the score 7-0 in favor of Grand Prairie. Shreveport brings it back to the line, looking to see what they need to do to adjust. Stephen Mabry with the restart. He gets a high hanger. A little bit of communication mix up there at Grand Prairie, but their hooker, Chris Foote, comes down with it. It's going to be a scrum. There's a knock on there, says Donnie Hennup, and it's going to be a scrum to Shreveport. And that is a big D3 front row on either side that you see there. Cedric Keith takes himself, gives to Mooney. Mooney can't hold it. Keith keeps himself. Devin Lott knocks it on after Keith tries to feed it out to Jesse Rankin coming into the line. And you got to think there's a bit of a miscommunication. There's a lot of speed out wide on this Shreveport side, a lot of power in the middle. And if they can get that communication effort straightened out, that speed that Shreveport's got on the outside is going to be dangerous. Ball's out on the scrum. St. Amant kicks it downfield. He's going to put Rankin under a little pressure. Rankin and Bennett back to get it. It's in goal. It goes touching goal. Donnie Hennup giving a moment. He's going to bring it all the way back. Given a choice, they're going to take it all the way back to the spot of the kick. It's going to be a scrum to Shreveport. No, Hennep says, no, that's going to be a 22-meter drop. Now, it may not be exactly what the laws say, but I think Hennep's just done running that far today already. Kalen Bennett gives to Farah. Shreveport doing well to keep for the keeper on that 22-meter restart. Pick and jam by Evan Johnston. Cedric Keith brings it out to Mole. Mole, the big man, drives it through. Keith, the Kamehameha. And that one's been coughed up. Taylor Pearson's running down the field with it a little bit. Now Wasikowski. Robertson quick taps. And Brogan Halloran takes a rumble. That's Kyron Torrance right there. A number 7 for Grand Prairie taking a run. Oh, Taylor Pearson. Like a mad giraffe. Through the gap there. Brogan Halloran again. On another rumble. Grand Prairie, the Mavericks. Try time, Mavericks again. 12-0. Mavericks showing some sparks this morning early on. Jared Lynn's kick is pushed wide to the right. It's still 12-0. Grand Prairie Mavericks up over Shreveport. Shreveport looking at each other saying, we got what we got. Stephen Mabry back to the line for the restart. He kicks it deep. Finds Ryan Peliquin. Peliquin near the touch line. Robertson digs it out. Another rumble from his pod. That's Woodall driving it up. Robertson again. This time he finds St. Amat. St. Amat puts it up and under, putting Rankin under pressure. Rankin, oh, look at Kyron Torrance making a menace, picking that ball up on the fly, getting it over into Shreveport territory. Clifford Robertson quick tap, and he goes through, gives it to Kyron Torrance. Torrance driving. Now Pearson. St. Amant out to his backfield. Not releasing is a call. Shreveport's going to get an important penalty here. Cedric Keith taps and goes. Finds Devin Lott. Lott's tackled up. Keith has to recycle. Now Brownmiller. Brownmiller's a tough one. Keeps driving. Has to be brought down by Whittle. That's Daly. Matt Daly driving through. Now Trey Cox with the ball. He's caught up in a ball. Trying to get to the ground and release that ball. Does so. Lott comes back in. Ball bounces out. That's one of the Mooney boys. Cleaning up and moving it out. Now Mole dropping a shoulder into the tackle. Oh, look at that. Fleming Thompson trying to get some speed up. Almost finding a hole. Cedric Keith stepping and spinning. Finding Brad Mooney. But obstruction is the call. Brogan Halloran driving through. Not 10 meters is the call. Halloran playing it smart. The big man seeing an opportunity to get an extra 10 meters out of it easy. And now the Mavericks within striking position again. Robertson digging it out, waiting. Peliquin with the ball, driving forward. Now Amant. Oh, it's been dropped. No try is the call. It has been dropped by Spear forward into the goal. Spear had the ball, and he dropped it in goal. It's a knock-on. It's going to be a try to Shreveport, 5 meters out. More driving forward by Grand Prairie. They've got Shreveport on the... Oh! Peliquin comes up with the ball. Falls in to go with it. Try time. Grand Prairie. James Greer, was a try scorer on that. James Greer just trying to run and find someone to tackle the ball is kicked ahead by Cedric Keith trying to get out of the end goal. Bounces off a player and into Greer's hands. Hey, look, Ma, what I found. And it is try time. 17-0's the score. Grand Prairie ahead by 3 tries in this game. Stephen Mabry brings his Shreveport team back to the line for a restart. Shreveport looking to get this kicked off and going again. I think maybe they need to bring the little Scott in for some action. High hanger it is. Peliquin says, nope, let it go. It goes straight into touch. Scrum center to the Mavericks. Robertson's put in is stolen. Evans Johnston picks up. Out to Keith. Keith looking for purchase, finds nobody. He scoops around. He's got Lott outside. Lott seems to be one of his favorite targets. Lott is a speedster. Steps. Oh, he should have just kept pinning his ears back and running. He's got such power. Keith has it out to Brownmiller. Brownmiller. Oh, Brownmiller breaks a couple tackles. He's through the middle. Brownmiller. Oh, he's over to 22, Brownmiller is. Back to Molay. Molay. Is he just going to rumble over? James Molay rumbles through. He's got to be at the line. He's got to be James Molay. Try time, Shreveport. Stephen Mabry's kick is wide to the left. Drop kick into the wind, not going to help. 17-5 is the score. Shreveport finally gets some points on the board. Big James Molay. Some people say they call it mullet, but no. We're going to use, he's from Louisiana, so we're going to use the French pronunciation Molay on this one. St. Amat with the restart right into Cox's hands. Trey Cox driving forward to the 10. Cedric Keith with the ball, trying to snipe the post, thinking he was going to get some penalty advantage. Molay picks up, has it out to Trey Cox again. Cox driving forward. It's Farrar. Out wide right to Bennett. Bennett knocks on. It's been knocked on and kicked forward. It's going to be a scrum to Grand Prairie here. Logan Farr is limping a little bit out there in the midfield, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of substitute backs out for Shreveport today, so Rankin has stepped in and Farr has stepped out to the wing. Brad Mooney going up the midfield looking for Chad, his brother. Chad out to Devin Lott. Lott has stepped into outside center. Lott's tackled up. Now Keith. Keith looking for Farr. Farr. Logan Farr. He may have had a limp, but he's made the midfield and then some. Keith trying his best to keep a hold of it. Now Brandon Brownmiller. Brownmiller's tackled up by Peliquin. Now Johnston. Johnston to Mabry. Mabry to Bennett. Bennett with a little obstruction, but he gets away with it. Tyrone Torrance with the steal. Ball was on the ground, and he just dove in there to get it. Oh, big tackle by Stephen Mabry. But it's dangerous, says Donnie Hennep, and Stephen Mabry knows it. And Jared Lynn's touch finder gives Grand Prairie a line out inside of Shreveport territory. And just about every time Grand Prairie has stepped inside Shreveport's into the field, they've scored a try so far. Big take there. Kosinski driving forward. Robinson looking for Pearson. Pearson driving forward. He gets a few meters. Amont now outside. He gets it out wide, but it's been bobbled on. Hennep trying to play a little advantage, but he can't. There's been a knock on and a pickup by Grand Prairie. Advantage is off. Scrum to Shreveport. Now Brownmiller. He gets taken down. Hands in is the call. Penalty on Grand Prairie. Shreveport. Cedric Keith making the plea and getting the nod there. Takes a tap and go. Tries to give the ball to Steve Mabry, and Mabry just leaves it be. Grand Prairie picking it up and taking it with them. Now Pearson with the run. And that ball's gone into touch off a Grand Prairie hand. 15 minutes to go. It's a line out. Donnie Hennep says it's a line out off of a Shreveport hand. It's a line out to Grand Prairie. Nice take by John Whittle. Way out feed. Going out to Daniel O'Connell. Shreveport has recycled the ball back to their side. Trey Cox with it, rumbling downfield, doing his best to hold on to the ball. Brandon Brownmiller with him. Now, James Millay try score, rumbling past the 50 by meter. Keith looking for help, finds Mooney. Mooney looking for somebody, nobody's there for him. Keith again finds Lott. Lott tackled up quickly by Ruschek. Ruschek played it on the ground and is not dinged for it. Whittle through the middle. He's tackled high by Bennett. And Donnie Hiddup calls in Logan Farrar for a chat. And I think this one's going to come with a card. And Hiddup is asking the captains to have a little bit of a team chat about these high tackles that you've seen. He's kind of tired of it. I think the teams are kind of tired of it too. Hiddup doesn't do something about this, he might have to see some justice being taken care of that's not his card. Out wide, Jared Lynn. Excuse me, that's Drew Wasikowski. And that's going to be try time for Grand Prairie. And that's Olasei Thomas, the fullback. Off a pass from Drew Wasikowski. And Wasikowski with a great pass for the assist, and I'll let Olasei Thomas was just right there, had the speed, had the pace, and with those deep end goals that Grand Prairie has here, they're 20 meters deep. It's easy to run around the end and then find your way to center for an easy try. It's 22-5 with Wasikowski's kick to come. Wasikowski's kick's good. It's 24-5. Restart by Mabry here. It's up into Tyrone Torrance. Torrance trying to find some purchase, and he is met with stiff resistance. Trey Cox trying to relieve him of that ball, and it's not going to happen. He's got to release the tackle. Hiddup awarding this penalty to Grand Prairie. Hiddup says side entry. He could have chosen any number of penalties on that one. Side entry definitely was one of them. And Wasikowski finds touch inside of Shreveport's into the field. 24-5 is the score. Grand Prairie is up over Shreveport. And this is a much different game than this match was here last year. Stephen Mabry with the steal. Oh, wow. Stephen Mabry with a great steal. Brogan Halloran trying to keep him up. Now Trey Cox driving forward. Brad Mooney taking it up. Ball's been tipped by Grand Prairie body. And that's Jared Lynn. Picks it up. He's headed forward, but Donnie Innup says that ball was knocked forward by Lynn trying to intercept it, and it's no good. And if that face you saw walking in front of you was Nathaniel Russell, and I'm sorry that you had to see that, folks. Russell is not the best-looking beggar in the city of Dallas. Robertson with the put in for Grand Prairie. It's a battle there. Shreveport trying to take it against the head. It's popped up, and Evan Johnston's got it. Untidy. Cedric Keith cleans it up. Has Logan Farr back there. He's juking and jiving and gets tackled up by Robertson. Now Molay trying to drive forward on that one. Stolen by Halloran. Now Woodall with the ball. St. Amat, Lynn. Lynn breaks the tackle. Lynn has Bennett on his back. St. Amat's there. Out to O'Connell. Dots it down. Wasikowski's kick is no good. 29-5 is the score. 6 minutes left in the half. Grand Prairie firmly in the lead here in this first half of D3 Rugby in Texas. Mabry's kick straight to Halloran. Brogan Halloran. Feeds to Chiron Torrance, and Torrance trying to release the ball and out to Robertson. Robertson to Peliquin. Peliquin with a couple of meters. Out to Pearson. Pearson driving forward. Oh, he gets past the 50 and then some. Mooney has a hard time bringing Pearson down. Swinging out to St. Amat, to Lynn, to Wasikowski. And out there to Kosefsky. Aiden Kosefsky out there in the wing, finally getting a little bit of action. Now Woodall. Woodall driving forward. Grand Prairie with momentum. Shreveport with the ball back. That's Daly. And now Farrar taking it forward. He gets a few meters, and he's down the field. Stolen again. Steven Spear taking a rumble. Steven Spear, hand to the face there. Brandon Brownmiller finally brings him down. Tyrone Corrence and Evan Johnston locked. Trying to battle for that ball. Woodall out to Peliquin. Peliquin finds the try scorer. Thomas. Thomas is tackled up, and it's a knock-on. Scrum to Shreveport. Keith with the put in, taking it loose, looking for Lott, goes for the kick ahead. It's charged down. Mooney takes it in. Woodall wraps him up and takes him down. And Mooney takes it in goal. It's going to be a 5-meter scrum to Grand Prairie. Woodall with some smarts there. Mooney doing all he could to keep that from being another try scored by Grand Prairie. Keith trying to kick ahead, probably not the best thing to do with numbers in front of him. Probably could have grubbered instead of trying to chip. And it's just about all that Shreveport can do right now with 3 minutes left in this half to keep that ball out of the end goal area. Brownmiller trying to stop Woodall, and that's not happening. Woodall's in goal. Try time. Grand Prairie. 34-5, Grand Prairie. Wasikowski's kick is no good. It's pushed far to the right. 34-5 is the score at halftime. Donnie Hennep whistles us up, and they take it to the shed. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Scores Grand Prairie 34, Shreveport 5 here at Grand Prairie, Texas. TRU YouTube channel. It's always a good time here. It's Grant Cole with This is Texas Rugby. We'll see you back here in a few minutes. And we're back. Second half here at Grand Prairie Park in Grand Prairie, Texas. Grand Prairie Mavericks are up 34-5 over the Shreveport Rugby Club. Shreveport in the yellow and black on the left. Grand Prairie in the green and white and black on the right. Donnie Hennup in the bright blue in the middle. Calling a match, and here we go. Stephen Mabry with the restart of the match. Obstruction's the call. And the player they call Twinkie, Jonathan Chin is his name, is called for obstruction. He got behind Jonathan Spears and looked like Brogan Halloran. And when you're behind those two guys, that's real obstruction. Cedric Keith or Stephen Mabry with a little tap to touch. Brandon Brownmiller's taking over the throw-in responsibilities for Shreveport. Trey Cox in the jumper position. Looks to clean it up, but it's not cleaned up. Michael Bauman retrieves it. Shreveport gets it back. Cedric Keith out to Stephen Mabry. Stephen Mabry looking to jump through some traffic. He's got support in Brownmiller. Keith flings it out to far knocks it on. Another knock on and by Wasikowski, and it's going to be a scrum to Grand Prairie there near the 22. A lot of rugby going on around Texas and the USA today. USA did beat Germany today in international rugby. Texas A&M's defeated OU 64-15. Arkansas was being defeated by LSU last we checked. And Donnie Hennup is telling Brandon Brownmiller, you were not in the right on that one, sir. You are offsides. And that is a penalty to Grand Prairie with Drew Wasikowski kicking it our way. And it is coming towards the van, heads up. It's back behind us. Going to be a line-out throw to Grand Prairie right here in front of the commentator's booth. Great stuff. Cedric Keith out to Brownmiller. It's bobbled up. Halloran comes up with it. And Amont. Now Spears. Bobbled again. Not seen by in up there, so still a good ball. Now Pelican driving forward 10 meters from the big man. Amont out to Spears. Spears going to go for a rumble again. I think Spears likes the long runs for the big man. Now Taylor Pearson gets wrapped up and taken down. Amont swings it out wide to Thomas. Thomas finds space in the middle. Bennett's not going to catch him. Thomas, try time in the middle. 39-5. And it's Grand Prairie on the board again. Olasei Thomas, you good thing. finding the end goal for the second time today. You seem to have a knack for this. Wasikowski lining up right in front of the post. And it's good, bringing that score 41-5 in favor of the Mavericks. And Grand Prairie is in a commanding lead in this match in the second half. High hanger. Halloran trying to retrieve it, tips it in goal, and gives the ball to Shreveport. Shreveport in favorable line-out condition inside Grand Prairie territory. It's been a while in this game since they've had this kind of opportunity. And now they've tipped it away. Trey Cox doing what he can to try and get his team some ball, but it just didn't happen. Didn't go his way. Steven Spears taking the short pass for another rumble. Now Pelican running up for it, getting a few meters out of it. Jacqueline Wasikowski getting caught up at the back line. Amont finding Thomas. Thomas feeding out. And it's been knocked on out wide by Chin. And scrummage to Shreveport. Stay tuned. This is the third match of the day, but not the last one. We got one more coming up, 4 o'clock here. TRU versus Marfu Women's All-Stars. Going to be reffed by Randy Campbell. And looks like Logan Farr is finally making his way off the field, limping a little bit. And Evan Johnson stepped into the midfield where his normal position is. Brad Mooney picks it up. Chad Mooney, that is, the bearded one. Brad Mooney going back to center. Clifford Robertson has just been all over Cedric Keith today and not allowed him to have any clean as much clean ball as he normally would get out of the breakdown. Donnie Hennup with a penalty call here. Stephen Mabry looking to find touch and looking right at our van, and he kicks it over, and it looks like it's hit my car. Thank you, Stephen Mabry. And Scott Krippner, little Scott for Texas A&M, is in the game. Shreveport might have a chance now. Little Scott gets in the first ruck, and he drives it over and helps secure the ball for the Shreveport. Tyrone Torrance steals the ball from Shreveport. Little Scott gives out a mudfish scholarship to eligible forwards at Texas A&M Rugby, and does a pretty good job. He's always taking donations for that scholarship. James Molay with stone hands there, a little bit on the tired side. He knocks it on. Comes out, and he had a don't know what got into him there, but he knocked it on and it went forward out of his hands. Little Scott lining up in the hooker position. Mudfish are those players of well over 225 pounds. If you don't know what a mudfish is, that's what the definition is. We used to love playing in the mudfish tournament in Dallas when Dallas Our Gang held that tournament. Missed that tournament a lot. Wish Dark Knights would try to bring that back. Blue Daniels, I'm talking to you. Jared Lynn taking it forward. Oh, look at that, Jared Lynn. You're doing something. Has it out. Oh, just brought up. Cairo Torrance in goal. No try is awarded. Cairo Torrance got in goal, but somehow was not awarded a try. It's going to be a 5-meter scrum to Shreveport. Great run of play by Grand Prairie there. Jared Lynn finding space around the corner, getting the ball into Jonathan Chin's hands. Chin almost having the try line, being tripped up right at the last second, then finding Tyrone Torrance. Torrance making it in goal, but knocking it on just as he was trying to dot it down. Cedric Keith having it out to Brad Mooney. Mooney to Bennett. Bennett is tackled into touch in such an ungentlemanly manner. I think the Mavericks are tired of having the speedster on their pitch. They just don't want him to get any space. A little bit of a miscommunication there, and it's a not in straight. Shreveport going to get a scrum here. Fleming Thompson and Matt Daly have come out of the game for Shreveport. Brad Mooney, now Evan Johnson. Johnson leaves it be. Knocked on by Johnson, but then it's also looks like it's knocked on by Grand Prairie. Maybe Hennup didn't see the knock on by Johnson or didn't think it was a knock on. Shreveport has another scrum, this time a little bit closer to midfield. Keith having it out. Evan Johnson now into tackle. It's met hard by Drew Waskowski. Now James Millay. He's tackled at the legs, which is probably the best place to tackle James Millay if you're going to try and bring him down. Cedric Keith into the goal, into the flats, looking for space. He's out to Devin Lott. Devin Lott, man who needs no introduction to speed, but just needs a little bit of space to practice it. Now Peliquin, who's been around the ball a lot today, brings it down. Steven Spears. Ball is popped out. Clifford Robertson ducking a tackle. And dangerous tackle is the call for Donnie Hinnop. Clifford Robertson knows they've got a large lead, 41-5, just minutes left in the match, and tap and go. He gives it to Steven Spears. Spears rumbling over. Got Halloran in support. Stolen by Shreveport. Robertson trying to bring it down, and he steals the ball, but Robertson, dangerous tackle, gets dinged for it. Maber's kick gets Shreveport out of a little bit of pressure, but not too much. Brownmiller with the throw in. Ball pops out. Clifford Robertson finding it, having it out to newcomer on the field. Looks like Benjamin Austin. Evan Johnston came up with the ball, though, out of that breakdown. Cedric Keith flies it out to a Mooney. Chad Mooney gets right back to the gain line. Now Mabry driving it forward, doing all he can. He can't get to the gain line, loses a little bit. Another loss of the gain line. Trey Cox getting a little bit ahead. Cedric Keith, Brad Mooney finds Bennett. Bennett knocks it forward and then into touch. Bennett with no room and has knocked it on scrum to Grand Prairie. Stephen Mabry comes out with the blood all over his nose, and Matt Daly has to come in, stand in for him. Daly pops in at 5. And Donnie Hinnop says, nope, you can't come back home. We're going to have to play down a man. That's just the way it is, and going to have to live with what the referee says, and Shreveport says we got what we got, guys. Moves Chad Mooney into flanker, the way that Shreveport has a full scrum. Ball's out. Jared Lynn Runs right into Evan Johnston. Not really the kind of defender you want to run into. Thomas has it out. Jonathan Lynn. And Donnie Hennep says, "You knocked it on, guys." Michael Benjamin Austin's knocked it on, and it's time for a scrum to Shreveport. Ball is popped out. Keith cleans it up. Coming back to the right side is Johnston. And he is driven into touch. Line out to Grand Prairie with about 20 minutes left in this game. James Millett's touch finder does not find touch. He finds Jonathan Chin. He finds Thomas. Thomas, the try scorer. He's passed it out. Hennep does not see the forward pass. Now Oskowski back to the inside. He breaks a couple of tackles. Somehow he tries to fend off Evan Johnston. Johnston will not be fended. Now it's Halloran. Back inside. Halloran again. Wasikowski with the kick. It's no good. It has been a little short there. The wind picked up. Got about 18 minutes left in this match, and it's 46-5 Grand Prairie with a 41-point lead over Shreveport. And things have really gotten bad, folks, because Scott Krippner is doing the restart for Shreveport. Little Scott has stolen the ball from Grand Prairie, and Shreveport's on the attack now. Brandon Brown-Miller picks up the unclean ball. Dangerous tackle's a call. It's not hard to tackle Brandon Brown-Miller dangerously. Cedric Keith with the quick tap. He goes with the pass out. It's deliberately knocked down. Knocked on towards the end goal as Cedric Keith tries to dive in goal and dot down. It's touchdown in goal by Grand Prairie. 22-meter drop for Grand Prairie. 14 minutes left. High hanger here. Jonathan Chin's going to try and get under it. He knocks it on. Woodall's put in touch. Hennup has seen the knock on, though, and it's going to be a scrum to Shreveport. Ball's out from Keith to Mooney. Mooney trying to go for it in his own. Powers past the mount. St. Amant takes him down, but he gets a meter. Now Trey Cox. Trey Cox going forward. He's being tackled up by the forwards from the Mavericks. They've wrapped him up and taken Cox to ground. Keith's pass has gone errantly off somebody's body, and Grand Prairie has cleaned it up. That's Wasikowski. He's passed it out to Woodall. Woodall out to St. Amant. St. Amant finding, I believe that's Jared Lynn. Now Steven Spears. And now Chad Mooney with the steal. Mooney still on his feet. How does he do it? Gets past the midfield line before he's tackled. Keith, now Brown-Miller. Brown-Miller at pace. Brown-Miller with some room to run. Tries to get around Thomas. He doesn't have the speed to get around Thomas, but he's just trying to step through. Brown-Miller with a little step around. Brown-Miller got everything he had in the tank into that one, and he's got a try time. Brandon Brown-Miller. Cedric Keith's attempt at conversion is no good. 46-10's the score. Grand Prairie still way up and over Shreveport. 10 minutes left in this game. Shreveport looking like they're trying to have just a little bit of fun before they leave the field today. It's interesting to note that Shreveport scored that try with only 14 men on the field. They're down to 14 with one man off due to blood. Restart by St. Amant. It goes to Trey Cox. Cox bundles it up. He starts driving forward. Cedric Keith to Johnston. Johnston to Rankin. Rankin out the lot. Oh, he should have just kept running, pinned his ears back. That's all he had to do. Jonathan Chin kicks ahead. Terrence O'Neill. That's not Terrence O'Neill. That's got to be Michael Billings. Grand Prairie now with the ball again. Brad Mooney's down. Shreveport's down to 13 players. Woodall's brought down after making a meter. And they're penalized for not releasing. Keith takes the tap. Lott tries to get past the tackler. He's brought down. Keith now to Krippner. Krippner brought down by Lynn. Lott again. Lott looking for some space. Billings drives through. Passed out. Hallman with the carry. Lott tackled up by St. Amant that time. Ball stolen by Grand Prairie out of Lott's hands. And Donnie Hennep calls a penalty of hands in on Grand Prairie. Keith to Molay. Molay into three Grand Prairie players. Molay trying to release the ball. And it's knocked on Grand Prairie's ball at the scrum. 6 minutes left in this match with Grand Prairie putting in here. Grand Prairie with the ball now. Wasikowski with the knock on. The tiredness has set in here. Keith with the put in. He's going to take that one himself. He puts through to Mooney. Mooney has Johnston. Johnston is away. Johnston, try time between the posts. Shreveport. 46-15. Shreveport with 13, 12, 14 on the field still. Mooney got up somehow and recovered from whatever was ailing him and pulled off the assist to that one. Shreveport opted not to take the conversion. Grand Prairie kicked it fast. Not sure what was going on there. Everybody seems to be tired, but it's an equal mess. Now Lott just needs to pin his ears back and go. Brown Miller. Oh, with a nice little feed. What a great little feed to Cedric Keith that was. Trey Cox with the pickup. Brad Mooney there in support of Billings. This Shreveport team's down, but they're not out. They're still got a dog in this fight. Trey Cox. Brad Mooney. Cedric Keith stepping through the post, gets a few meters. He's still on his feet. Pelican can't bring him down immediately. And it's knocked on. Just 2 minutes left in the game. Scrum to Grand Prairie. Shreveport on the move, but 30 points behind is just not going to make it with 3 points left. Grand Prairie making a switch out at scrum half. Late in the game, Robertson finally coming off. Shreveport with a good drive. And Wasikowski kicks the touch. And Donnie Hennup says, "That's it, boys. Take it to the sheds." Grand Prairie Mavericks are the winner at home this time, 46-15 over Shreveport. And this men's D3 match in the Red River Rugby Conference in Texas. Thank you. This has been Grant Cole with This is Texas Rugby on the Texas Rugby Union YouTube channel. Stay tuned here at 4 o'clock. We're going to have the Mid-America Women's All-Stars versus the Texas Rugby Union Women's All-Stars. We'll be right back with that in just a few minutes.